Fred here, welcome back to the Gear Obsession channel. In this episode we will be taking a look at the HP Chromebox, so stay tuned. I came across this at Best Buy for $179. This is the 2 gigabit memory model. There's also a 4 gigabit that Best Buy did not have that costs $199, and then there's also a much higher end one. Don't remember off the top of my head. I believe it was an i5 also with 4 gigs of memory. But we're going to be taking a look at this 2 gig model, so let's take a close look. Now this is a Chrome OS based device. Now I'm sure it could be hacked and you could probably put Linux on here but not Windows. But you know, what would be the purpose of this would be a good question to ask. Why don't you just buy a regular desktop computer? Well, number one, the price. Number two is it takes up a very small amount of space. Basically, it's Intel's NUC design, which is Next Unit Computing, I think is the term that NUC stands for, but it's a very small format motherboard that's in here. So it comes with some setup instructions. What else do we have here? We have a power brick. That's kind of disappointing. I was kind of hoping the power would be in it. You know, sort of Apple-ish. And then we have the unit itself in here, it looks like. Oop, and I see something else in here. What do we got here? More paperwork. Looks like warranty. Oh, there's something else in here. What is this? Huh. Looks like little standoffs, like if you were going to directly mount this to the back of a monitor or TV. And that's the thing. This could be mounted or used on a TV set because it has an HDMI out. Go ahead and set these aside. So that's another use for it. You could basically make your TV into a computer with something very small that can sort of hide behind it. Now this is the white model. It does come in a lot of different colors, bright colors, and there is a black version for those of you who like to go tactical. Here's the back. And there is the top. I'm sorry, that was the bottom, and this is the top. Let's go ahead and take a look around here. You have one of them locks here that you're going to put the device in so you could chain the thing down. You have an SD card reader right there. On the front you have some USB 3 ports and the power button. And the back is where all the business is going on. You have the power plug right there. You have an RJ45 for your Ethernet. You have 2 more USB 3s. You have an HDMI. You have a display port. So you have 2 ways to get video out of here. And we have a headset. I believe this is a headset slash microphone plug right there. So that's basically our walk around this thing. So let's go ahead and hook this thing up. Actually, before we hook this up, I want to go over a couple of specs with you that I have right here in front of me. This uses the Intel Celeron Haswell processor at 2.4 gigahertz. That's a dual core processor, but they weren't able to squeeze this in here and use passive heating, so you could see there's some vents here, so there is a fan in here. There was some literature out early on before this was released saying that it did not use a fan, but it does use a fan. Again, this comes with 2 gigabits, could be upgraded to 4 gigabytes. That will be a future video. And it has a 16 gig solid state drive, also upgradable. It uses those little not micro, but those little SATA drives, solid state drives that come on the little motherboard about that big, again in a future video. So has the Intel HD graphics on board, and I think we went over everything else other than the wireless capability. It has Bluetooth 4. It also has Wi-Fi all the way up to N, and it uses both the 2.4 and 5 gigahertz frequencies. Alrighty then, we'll go ahead and plug everything in. USB for keyboard. I'm going to use USB for the mouse. But again, if you want to use Bluetooth, especially like if you have this on the TV and you want to be tied with cables, that would be a great idea. I'm going to use the HDMI for the graphics in this demonstration. And then we'll go ahead and power it up. Okay, it's not extremely loud. That fan is pretty quiet, and look at that, bang, it's up. For the fun of it, I went ahead and signed on with my Google account, and I noticed it just synchronized instantly. All my bookmarks are there, all my extensions are there, you know, my weather, and Google Hangout works perfect, and all my apps are there. You know, you can sort of bring them up here, or of course you can bring them up within the browser themselves, but you have down, you know, it's down here where the start button would be if it were a Windows machine. Okay, I dug around in my gear closet, found this Microsoft camera, so go ahead and put that up there, and let's see, it was 2 USBs in the back, and now I got to put one in the front here. Okay, I went ahead and brought up Google Hangout, and you could see that the picture is whited out. It was moving for a little while, and now it's sort of frozen. So the Microsoft camera is not working very well. So I'm going to go ahead and dig up an old Logitech camera and see what happens. Alright, here's one of my old Logitech cameras. It's a something 9000, I think. Oh, and there we go. So apparently it likes the Logitech cameras. It doesn't like the Microsoft cameras. Go figure. But that looks real good. Now I think I reduced the bandwidth. I'm going to go ahead and pump that up to the highest quality. There we go. Alright, so you can use this as a teleconferencing machine on your TV. You could get a cheap Logitech camera and put this on your TV, and you could make yourself a video teleconferencing unit out of this thing. So it's another good use for this. Now the next thing I'd like to see is how good it does video, and make sure it doesn't have any kind of weird jittering or stop and starting and things like that. So I brought up my YouTube channel's trailer, and I'm going to go full screen here. So you can see the video is very smooth, and it worked really well. Now there's not too much information on the teardown in the internals of the HP Chromebox. And from what I'm told and from what I read on the internet is that it's almost exactly the same as the Asus unit. But I did find on the HP website the end-of-life disposing information on it. When it does reach end of life, they're required to have a breakdown of all the parts and everything so it can be taken care of properly. So in that document is, and I'll go ahead and bring this up here for you, is some internal pictures, which is pretty fascinating. So there's the bottom of the unit there. I could go ahead and zoom in a little bit so you can see that a little better. Now what you do to disassemble the unit is you pull off these rubber feet, and underneath those rubber feet there are screws, so you remove those 4 screws. Once you do that, there's a metal plate here, so you remove 1, 2, 3, 4, it looks like 5 screws right there. It says remove bottom BKT screw, 5 pieces. And once you take that metal plate off, you can see the internals here. And this is, you can see there are 2 sockets here. One is for the solid state drive, and the other socket is for the mini PCI Bluetooth/Wi-Fi networking card. So you have the 2 slots there. And then here, is the memory slots. And I believe, because I could see two tabs here, that you could go ahead and put two DDR3, it's DDR3, 16, was it 1600 is the speed, or the 12800, PC 12800, and it has to be the low voltage stuff, so the one that's like 1.35 or 1.25 voltage type memory in here. Now it comes with 2 gigs. It looks like they have it covered here with a piece of white paper of some sort, and you could go ahead and put in another one. So when I do the teardown, I'll find out whether or not you have to remove the one that's there and replace it with 4, or just add 2 more. That I do not know yet. I was hoping to know that before this video, but again, there's not a lot of information out there on this. So this is like the logon screen. Like if you were in Windows, this would be the logon screen. You can shut down from here. You could add a new user, or you could log on as a guest and not actually create an account. So if you have somebody that visits and you don't want them in your Google account, you can have them sign on as a guest, or add their account and they could log on with their account. So really cool. And as you can see, again, I changed my background just a little bit, and I'm trying to log in. I don't know where my mouse went. There we are. Let's go ahead and log in. And bang, we're logged in that quick. It really is an amazing product. You get an awful lot of capability for $179. Also, if you have a printer capable of Google Cloud Print, which I do, I have an HP OfficeJet Pro 8600, and it's set up into Google Cloud. So any Chrome browser on any machine in the world could basically through the internet print to this printer. I don't want to get into the specifics or anything, but that's how you can print from your Chromebox or Chromebook type of device using the Google Cloud Print. Now to get into settings, like how you could go into Control Panel on Windows and go into settings, again you would click down here in this corner on your little picture or whatever, and you could go to settings, and it's going to open up the settings as if you were on a Chrome browser, but you'll find other things in here like you could that you wouldn't find on a Chrome browser on, let's say, Windows or Linux. There's your Wi-Fi stuff, and there's also Bluetooth stuff somewhere. Also, you could set your wallpaper right here for appearance. You could set your time zone over here, and I know somewhere there's Bluetooth kind of stuff. And by the way, it's also here where you can find that Google Cloud Print and manage the printers. So again, you gotta if you Google Google Cloud Print and you start going in there, you could see all the printers that are capable of doing this e-print kind of stuff. I'm trying to find where the there's Bluetooth right there also in the settings. So you have more things on a Chromebook or a Chromebox in your Chrome settings than you would in a Chrome browser on another operating system, because that's where you also get to the settings of the confuser. I was on Ben's Bargains. I don't know if you've ever been to this website, bensbargains.net, but that's where I find a lot of really good deals. So there's your tip of the day. So anyway, thank you very much for joining me here at the Gear Obsession channel. I really do appreciate every friend, viewer, subscriber, and especially you. And I hope you have a great evening. Take care.